Hello everyone, welcome to E-Pathshala class. My name is Dr. Rashmi Jain and I am working as a guest faculty in the Department of English, University of Allahabad. Today I will speak on topic on casteism and colorism, a cross-cultural analysis of select Indian and African American women playwrights. The world's largest and oldest democracies, India and America, are affected by casteism and colorism. In India, it has its roots in social classification of Varn and Jati, and colorism or racism has its origin in 300 years of slavery. A cross-cultural analysis of select Indian and African American women playwrights helps us to examine and compare certain serious issues of caste and race, and also helps us to know the psychological impact on the marginalized people, especially women. Mahashweta Devi Vinodini, Georgia Douglas Johnson, Zora N. Hurston portray such never-ending social evils of colorism and casteism in their particular societies. So what is casteism? Casteism means adherence to caste system which involves prejudice and discrimination on the grounds of caste. Gerald D. Berryman, in his article Caste in India and United States, says that caste is hierarchy of endogamous divisions in which membership is hereditary and permanent. What is colorism? Colorism involves prejudice or discrimination against individuals with dark skin tone, typically among people of same ethnic or racial group. Now we come to Zora N. Hurston. So Zora N. Hurston's Color Struck deals with story of young African American woman whose skin is darker than other African American girls. It presents the issue of colorism within colorism. Emma is a black woman who is deeply in love with John, who is a light brown skinned man. She is prejudiced against others, light brown skinned men and women, and feels inferior to them. She is insecure about her relationship with John and accuses him for flirting with light-skinned African American girls, especially with Miss Effie Jones. Her paranoia reaches height when she does not want to go on a cakewalk competition to represent her community. Then John and Miss Effie Jones performs the dance and wins the cake. From that particular moment, it takes 20 years for Emma and John to face each other again. But all wins in vain because the attitude of Emma remains the same. In the meanwhile, Emma gives birth to a disloyal white man's daughter, and she remains changed in her attitude and behavior. John finds that Emma's daughter is a light-skinned girl, and he immediately makes Emma realize that she practices double standard and hypocrisy. John wants to dedicate his life to Emma and her daughter. However, Emma's anger makes her physically attack and abuse John, which scares John, and he leaves the place and Emma's life forever. Our next playwright is Mahashweta Devi. She is a versatile and prolific writer. She was an activist who has worked for the upliftment of the tribals. Chandidasi, turned into Bane, is a mother who is branded as a witch and has been excommunicated from the society and is banned from meeting her husband and child. The punishment is so harsh that she starves. And this comes to the light when she talks to the dog and says that they give me my ration on Saturday, that too a little rice, out of which I give some part to you and rest I eat myself. The women of oppressed class have often been charged with possessing evil spirits and practicing necromancy. Mahashweta Devi feels that this system has been continuing from the ancient time. She feels that it's a method of traumatizing women and restraining their freedom. When Bain's son looks at Bain, who stands with her, back to him and learns that she is his mother, his heart is immediately filled with compassion and longing for her. He says, "My mother, without clothes, without food, without oil in her hair." Her son's doubts were not removed, and he goes away from there with a heavy heart. People considered Chandidasi responsible for the death of the children in the village. They throw stones at her, they abuse her. Bain even requests her husband to take her away from that village, and when she meets her son Bhagirathi, she says, "Oh my son, do you feel your mother woes?" Men in general are so insensitive. She says that when the children of the village die, she buries them, and they say that she has an evil eye on them. If she stares a child, it is sure to die. Another dramatist is Georgia Douglas Johnson. She is best known and most widely published African American women poet of her time, as well as an accomplished and pioneering dramatist of the earlier 20th century. In the 18th century, 19th century, and the earlier 20th century, miscegenation was considered to be a crime, as it threatened the purity of the white race and their supremacy. Safe by Georgia Douglas Johnson is a play about young black pregnant woman Lisa, who, after having witnessed the lynching of black men, Sam, from the window of her home, kills a newborn son in order to save him from lynching and oppression in America. After the abolition of slavery, lynching grew rapidly. The main purpose of lynching was to reduce the population of black men. Her another play, Blue-Eyed Black Boy, is a unique play that revolves around Jack, a black boy accused of brushing up against a white woman, as he is jailed and is about to be lynched. His mother's surprise evidence about his father being the governor saves him from lynching. Then comes Vinodini. Her play Thirst was originally written in Telugu as Daham. She is a dramatist who shows atrocities that are inflicted on the Dalits in India, and in this play she is particularly dealing with the region Andhra Pradesh. This is a story of a woman, Saramma, a Dalit woman, who waits for a pot of water at the well from the morning until noon, and in return she is physically abused by the upper caste Reddy women. Her pot is broken and she returns home without the drinking water. It is interesting to know that Vadina, Saramma's daughter-in-law, goes to breastfeed Peda Reddy's grandson. This shows the arrogance and the hypocrisy of the Reddy community women. When she returns back, she talks to some elder women of the community. They scolds her for involving in fights with the Reddy women and influencing abuses on them and inviting danger for the whole Dalit community. Saramma defends her action and behavior and describes the violence meted out to her by the Reddy women. We even find that Peda Reddy and Chinna Reddy, they decide to impose heavy fine on the poverty-ridden Saramma's husband, and they even say that they would parade Saramma naked in the society if her husband is unable to pay the fine. Later on, a mystery is revealed from the past that a young man was killed by the Reddy community, which makes the young people, the younger generation of Dalit community, to agitate and revolt. Towards the end, it is found that even the Malla community comes together as a united front and faces the Reddys and other elders of the villages. They say they had dug the well and it is their right to draw drinking water from the well unconditionally. The play ends with the Dalit women refusing to nurse Peda Reddy grandson until and unless a public apology is made to Saramma. To conclude, it can be said that these are the plays written by women, center on women characters who are strong but helpless, courageous but speechless in front of the dominant majority. The subjugation, oppression and suffering for centuries imposed either by whites in America or the upper caste in India has been effectively portrayed by these playwrights in their particular plays and according to their particular eras. Thank you.